Premier League table, because Arsenal, they produced a standout performance, beating Aston Villa 4-1. They moved 5 points clear at the top of the table, and their closest rivals, Manchester City, they visit Sunderland tomorrow. How much of a statement win was that for Mikel Arteta?
I think they needed that. I think they needed that belief. I think it was a very close game in the first half. I think the best chance went to Ollie Watkins, where he should have done better in the first half. But then second half, when Onana went off, Arsenal bossed the game, totally bossed the game. A set-piece corner, a set-piece goal again. They're magnificent at them. And then from that moment, there was no looking back. And then for once, they didn't sit back. They kept on going, and they totally destroyed Villa. They looked really comfortable. They scored 3 more goals, and they really deserved the win. And hopefully they keep on playing like this. You know, when they score the 1-0, going for the 2-0 and the 3-0. They haven't done that really in the past, but they did that yesterday, and they looked magnificently well. Odegaard was absolutely magnificent, and he needed that game. Brilliant pass for the second goal. Jesus scores as well, and they've got the momentum at the moment. They've got the momentum. It was a big game for them, and they sent a message to Man City that they are there to stay.
Yeah, goodness me, look. Incredible finish there from him as well. But there we go, little consolation there. They end the year exactly where they hoped they would, top of the table, ending on a high. As you said, they want to carry that momentum through. Lots of pundits and ex-professionals like yourselves talking about whether they can or can't win the title race, whether City will just nip in ahead of them. Actually, Paul Merson believes they're going to win it easily. Is he right? Can they make it count this time?
I don't want to go against Paul because he does know his football. But I don't think that they're going to win it easily. I do think that they will win it.
Should they win it easily, not could they, perhaps?
I think you don't... That's a big statement. They should win it easily. It just does not work like that. And they are not going to win it easily. Man City will stay there. It's about consistency. It's about doing what they have done yesterday, repeatedly. Now, all the games won't be like yesterday. There will be a few scrappy ones that they have to win 1-0. And if they can do that, they will be champions. The only thing is, Man City has done it, has been there. We know that they can go 15 matches unbeaten and win 15 matches in a row. And that's the mindset that Arsenal needs to have. If they have that, they have got the better squad. They've got 2 players in every position that can play easily, that don't really weaken the side. So it's just a mindset game, and if they have their mindset right, they become champions.
Yeah. Look, Gabriel Jesus, he was on the score sheet for them last night. Do you think he should be starting ahead of Gyökeres going forward? That is the question, isn't it?
It's a great competition, and you need to have that at a top team. Having 2, 3 good strikers fighting for 1 or 2 positions. Look, he comes in, the game is stretched, the game is open, he gets a chance, he puts it away. It's a little bit easier than when Gyökeres starts and now the game is tied. Everybody is a little bit harder to beat. So it's a hard one. It's a difficult one. But the only thing that I can say is he will need both strikers. He will need both strikers. There are lots of games And it can't be better than two strikers fighting for a position. That can only benefit the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of having all your best players, look, what about Aston Villa? They were without Matty Cash, without Boubacar Kamara, who was suspended. Does that loss just sum up how big a loss they are?
Yeah, they are. Kamara and Cash, they are big players for them, especially Kamara in the midfield. And then also they lost Onana at halftime. They are very important in the system and in the way that they are playing. They are very comfortable without the ball, especially when they are playing. They are always in the right spaces, the right holes, closing people down, making it difficult for oppositions to get shots in and stuff. And on the other hand, when they have the ball, they can control the game as well. So it was a big miss, Kamara and Cash. And then on top of that, missing Onana, I think it was a little bit too much.
Yeah, look, I'm sure that will have hurt, and looks like it did hurt, of course. Unai Emery not wanting to enter a new year off the back of that. Could the manner of the defeat be damaging for Villa?
No, I think sometimes losing is a good thing,
Okay.
Sometimes you can use that as a motivation. They've had such a great run. There is no shame in going to Arsenal and lose. Yes, you don't want to receive that many goals against, but you can use that, for the next game and start again. Kamara will be back, Cash will be back, so it's a new challenge. Can we put that kind of run again, So if they do that, they will get closer again to the two who are above them. So sometimes it's not a bad thing to lose. You don't want to lose, but use that to your benefit, and they can easily do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Next, 5 points behind leaders Arsenal, but with a game in hand. Pep Guardiola sat down with Kyle Walker to discuss their superb end-of-year run of form ahead of an incredibly busy January.
How do you prepare for 9 games in 28 days?
Like we have done in the last 10 years. Last year less, because we were out in the competitions earlier, but like last year's, game by game.
People will say that, well, Manchester City, they can spend, or they've got great squad depth, but you still need to make sure that the team are ready to take on every single opponent, every single game. How do you ensure that this team have got that drive to make sure they get it through successfully?
It's try to winning games. So it's just to be consistent. It's have the competition that you have. Is try to come back the players from injuries and try to make the squad stronger.
I guess one of those benefits is the transfer window opens in January. You've been asked it so many times, I know. Will you look to strengthen, or are you happy with the squad that you've got, or will you look to add?
I'm so happy with the squad. And when the club decide, I will support it.
Have you spoke to the higher-uppers? Of course, you're the one that gets asked the questions, but it's them that makes the decisions. Have you spoke to them about that?
We talk every day with them, yeah.
At this stage in your career, I mean, gosh, you've been in the Premier League for such a long time. You know what it's like around this festive period. But have you found it's got more difficult? It's got busier? There's more and more games?
No, the game is quite similar. I would say the schedule is a little bit difficult, but there have been all the time in that way. In that period, always more complicated for the weather, for many issues. But after 1 decade here, I lived this period quite often, so I know a little bit what does it mean.
You've got members of the squad, though, that maybe aren't used to it. They might be used to a Christmas break. They might be used to having this time off. How do you make sure that they're ready to go when it comes to this time of year?
Yeah, it's a good question for them. I didn't ask, but yeah, must be a little bit surprised. It was a surprise for me in the first season, second season, but it's where it is.
I'm sure that when you have players like Ryan Cherky in the squad, we saw the winner he got against Nottingham Forest for yourselves. What's that working relationship like? Are you still shouting at him? I heard that post-match press conference, or has it been praised this week?
Yeah, I just kiss him now. Every time he make an assist and goals, I would kiss him every time.
How do you find getting that balance right between letting a player like that express himself, but obviously he's new to this team, making sure he does his job in the system?
No, I was quite jogged. So with all the players, there are sometimes that I shout him or I say the truth a little bit roughly, or we are hugged. But that is what it is. You cannot be all the time in the same way. But not having Ryan happen for everyone. But of course, Ryan, we know that he's a special player in these positions.
8 games in a row you've won in all competitions. Is this the famous Manchester City run that everyone talks about?
No.
No?
Still, we are not. Okay, we are so happy, but still, we have done many times before, but still, it's a long, long time to be the team that we were. Always we found a way to winning, but I cannot deny there are many, many things that it's not about tactics that I'm really satisfied.
The Premier League title race looks set to be an exciting one, and the team to be most wary of? Manchester City. This is driving on after Christmas. There's a song in there somewhere. It's the most points won after January the 5th by Premier League teams, and Manchester City take the top 2 spots. The 2020-21 season started slightly later because of COVID, but in 23 games after Christmas, they took 57 points as they won the title by 12 points ahead of Manchester United. They steamrolled Arsenal by 4-1 at the Etihad. Kevin De Bruyne scored the first goal here. Absolutely magnificent goal. He scored twice in this game. This one was in the 7th minute. And I just want to highlight as well the season 23-24, because City and Arsenal went blow for blow. City took 51 points after Christmas. Arsenal, well, they did their best, took 49. Pep Guardiola's side reached 91 points with Arsenal 2 back on 89. City went unbeaten after Christmas to end of the season, including a 3-1 win over rivals Manchester United. There was revenge for United, though, later that season in the FA Cup final. But City, definitely the team to be wary of post-Christmas in the title run-in. Will they be driving on after Christmas?
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Dave. Right. Look, Jimmy, they've done it before. Should Arsenal be concerned about how City might respond heading into the new year?
No, I think it's about themselves. It's about Arsenal. It's about them. They can't control what Man City is going to do. Okay. They have to concentrate on them. They will have to matches. They will have to accumulate as many points as possible. They cannot be thinking about Man City. They need to make sure that they are right, and that every match they go in with the right mindset and knowing that they have to win, you know. And what Man City is going to do, Man City does, you know. They are 5 points ahead. 5 points ahead. So keep on concentrating on yourself. You can only control you. You cannot control Man City.
You can't, but Guardiola insisting there when asked, you know, they're not back to their best yet, but will that be something, hearing that Arsenal fans will worry about?
Of course he's going to say that. He's playing mind games. We are not back at our best. He's winning, he's winning matches at the moment, but we are not at our best. We can go in our 6th gear, you know, and our 6th gear is coming. So of course he's going to say that. And he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying. He's giving that message to everybody else, but also that message is to his own players. I'm expecting more. I know you can deliver more. I know I need more from you. So it's a message to all of them. And he knows what he's doing.
He knew what he was doing when he wouldn't discuss Antoine Semenyo as well, but we understand they are closing on a full agreement to sign Semenyo. What do you think he will add? Why do you think he would be looking at him in January?
He will add more quality. He will add goals. He will add physicality. He will add assist, work rate, know-how in the Premier League, what is expected in the Premier League. He doesn't have to be batted in. Can play different kind of positions. Can play left, right, from the wing. If they can get him, would be a great buy. More goals, because they need more goals in the side. They're a little bit dependent on Haaland. Of late, Foden has been scoring more goals, but if they can get more players who can score goals, then I think it will make them stronger.
Would he be a regular starter though?
I think when you go to Man City now, you're going to fight to be a regular starter, and I think that's what Pepe says as well to the newcomers. You've got the ability. You know how we play. You are coming to make us stronger, but you have to do it week in, week out. If you do it week in, week out, you are going to be a starter. And that's the competition, you know, that's the competition that Pepe brings, and that's what makes Man City stronger.
He definitely makes Bournemouth stronger, that's for sure. And Andoni Iraola said he will play against Arsenal on Saturday. And there are some theories, Jimmy, that's because City deliberately delaying it so Semenyo does play against their title rivals. Do you buy into that one?
No, not really.
Oh.
Not really. Obviously, Bournemouth is going to be stronger when he plays in that game for Bournemouth. But I think that Man City is going to want to have him as quickly as possible if they decide they want him. They're going to want him in their team, working with them, getting familiar about everything as quickly as possible.
Okay.